Welcome to Hot Flash Chronicles, where midlife is messy, menopause is madness, and we're sweating through it together.
We're Angie and Shelley, two caffeine-fueled, slightly inappropriate grandmas who say what everyone's thinking.
So grab a drink, crank up the AC, and let's dive in.
Shelley!
Angie!
I am so excited. We are here for another episode of Hot Flash Chronicles.
It's amazing.
Podcast.
It's amazing.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
And today we're going to talk about online friendships and relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So the value of having friends that you only see online.
I think that this is going to be a really fun one.
It's near and dear to our hearts.
It's near and dear to our hearts.
It is, because we just joined a bunch of social medias because we're trying to push the podcast out.
We're on the interweb.
We're on the interwebs. We're grandmas trying to figure out all the socials, trying to figure out how everything works.
That's a whole journey
And
all on its own.
Something we're learning, because now we're on TikTok and we're doing lives on there and we're having some engagement, is some people are showing up really consistently.
Yeah.
And we're forming friendships with people and we're following them back and we're going and supporting their lives and those kind of things. And it kind of brought up the question of, how do online friendships fit into a real world?
Yeah. And do they? Like, do you value that kind of friendship? Do you think it has merit? Is it real? Because a lot of times, if you maybe never meet someone, and in some cases, you might never know what their actual real face looks like, because some people don't want that kind of information out in the world. So it's like, is that valid? Is it real if you don't have all the information that you get like in a IRL and real life relationship? So that's, we've got a lot to dive into.
Right. So before we do that, I do want to give a couple shout outs to some people on our TikTok. We have some moderators that we need to thank. Alien, we're talking to you. Connor, we're talking to you. Steph, we're talking to you. And then we have 6 subscribers now. Guys, we're not even really trying to get subscribers, but here we are.
We do.
So we have Ange, thank you so much. Cartoon Man, thank you. Jennifer, Kay, Alexia, and Kaney. And Kaney did some fan art for us. So we figure we've hit the real big time.
We do. We do figure we have. We know we have. We also have a few other moderators who have just been added recently, which were Ange and Jennifer.
Yeah,
I think we added them.
Subscribers.
And we might have some other ones. So we just don't want to leave anybody out. But thank you to everybody, because that can be a real job. If you've done, here's the thing is, you might not be familiar with online interactions because maybe you don't use any social media. And you might think, well, I don't want to use social media to talk to other people. I just want to go maybe watch reels or something like that. And we hope we're going to present a case that's going to make you think, hey, maybe I want to do more than just scroll through. Maybe I want to stop and talk to people. And maybe there's value in that.
Right. And if we go back to the days of your early internet days, we had message boards. So I know my sister was really interactive, and she was active on a message board that was called Veggie Boards, because she was vegetarian at the time. So she made some good friends there. I've met people on online gaming where we actually met in person and did like a meetup in Vegas. That was really fun. Also social media stuff, like the people that listen to our podcast.
Yeah.
We have like some people that are friends in real life that listen, and some people that we haven't met in real life.
That are strangers.
Any less of friends.
Strangers in life, friends in podcasting.
Or even within our singing community or my photography community, a lot of that stuff can be in a Facebook group or on an online education platform where you create this relationship. And then if you're lucky, you get to meet them in real life. But very often, especially with my photography ones, I don't get to see people very often. I might get to see them maybe once or twice a year.
Yeah.
So I really hold those times sacred where I get to hang out with them.
Well, and I can tell you, like, even in online dating, like with my husband, I'll use this as an example. We met online and we developed a friendship, and we didn't meet each other IRL in real life for 4 or 5 months. We kind of built up that time and got to know each other online. But then when we met, when we actually met in real life, because we had talked online, because we had emailed and chatted, because we had FaceTime. When we met, it felt completely natural, normal, because we were used to seeing each other. We knew what each other looked like when we talked, when we had actual conversations. So it just felt super comfortable. And that's why there's kind of this argument that getting to know somebody maybe from a distance or in a digital way, maybe that kind of eliminate some awkwardness, like when you have to just meet somebody in real life and sit and have this first awkward coffee where you don't know each other.
What platform did you meet Phil on?
I want to say we kind of forgot over time, but I believe we were both on a couple of them. We were on OkCupid, which is the one I think we actually met on, because we were both on, OkCupid and Plenty of Fish or something like that. So yeah, can you meet? Is it real? Like, do you develop real friendship? What do you need? What do you need to make friends with someone? Like, some people need this. They need somebody sitting next to them to feel that energy.
It helps, but it doesn't mean that I can't connect with somebody online.
Yeah.
So the reason this topic came up, I think it was actually discussed over Kanie, who is the one who did the fan art for us. Like, we feel very connected to her, and we'll have to find a way to link her profile, because it's like
she does
shadow digital designs or something.
She's a digital artist. Yeah.
Sorry, Kanie, that I don't remember the exact handle right now. But we'll
give a shout out
how we've been chatting with her every day, and she's showing up to all of our lives, and we've brightened each other's days, and it's like there's value in this online friendship. So we said, you know what, that's what we're going to talk about on today's pod.
Yeah, we thought it was important because we're promoting our podcast, and there's a certain vibe and a certain amount of content that we provide to you in the podcast that's way different. This is a different format than what we're doing on social media, on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok. This is different. We have a subject. It's a little more focused. And the way we present here and how we talk here to all of you is way different than what we do over there.
Yeah, so, the lives are very disjointed. They're mayhem. They fill my little ADHD heart with love and confusion.
There's a lot going on a live. A lot. So this was a way to kind of try to tie all these different genres together and give a shout out. It's like a cross episode. It's like when Laverne and Shirley would go and visit the people on Happy Days.
Yeah, that was so when they had the crossover.
Yeah, so we'll think the podcast is like Laverne and Shirley and TikTok is like Happy Days. We want to give a shout out because we are finding that we are getting people from over there to come here and listen to the podcast.
Right.
So we want to do a shout out and a thank you to several people that have started following us and supporting us, and let them maybe get a taste of what this is like over here and what we do and the kind of content we create over here, which is a little more focused.
A lot more focused.
A lot more focused.
And if I think in other categories, like in my photo life, I'm part of Super Ice Education, which is now the portrait system. And for example, one of my very best friends, Ella, lives in Michigan. And for years to me, Ella was the support person because she was the admin behind SBE, which is Super Ice Education. So Ella, I knew who she was online. I would see her in the Facebook group. When I met her the first time, I was like, oh my God, it's actually Ella. Like, she's three-dimensional. And now, like, we've roomed together, we've traveled together. Ella is one of my people. I call her my other sister because her name is also Angela. She just goes by Ella. Her birth date is smack in between ours. And so she's a Leo, and she just like totally fits our vibe.
So she's cool.
So she's super cool. Mm-hmm. You haven't met her yet. You would love her. Mm-hmm. You would love Ella. So I met her in this Facebook group that was for an education platform, and now she's one of my best friends. So it's one of those things that you can see like the avatar of someone in either a social media way or in an education platform or something. And then when you meet them three-dimensionally, it can level up, but you don't have to. There are a lot of people in the photo community that I haven't met in real life.
Yeah. I think like if you go back in a time machine to like before the interwebs, before we had any of this,
we sound like
we are. We are grandmas. We don't just sound like them. We are.
Fair.
So in the past, there was a thing called having a pen pal where you would have a relationship through letters. You would write and tell each other things. You could even join groups that would get you hooked up with pen pals. So
Did you have
could.
pen pals?
I did. I had some pen pals that were in different parts of the world. And it was usually that, or it was somebody across the country. It was somebody who maybe lived somewhere else, had a different kind of life, and you would explain what your life was like, and you would become friends through this medium. And maybe someday you'd meet. It would be a big deal back then because you would really have to travel to do it. So there's maybe been kind of a trend or a history behind making friends with someone long distance, let's call it, and somebody who's not in your everyday
not sitting in the same room as you.
Yeah. And there was pen pals before there was telephone. So it's been a curiosity or something that's probably intrigued us just to get to know an unknown, exotic, different person from a different part of the world.
Well, I remember being in junior high school and having a couple different pen pals, and it gave you a reason to look forward to getting mail.
Yeah.
Because you would get the actual letter.
You would get a letter. You could get a physical letter and read it, and then you'd write your responses. And now we can do that in real time through this medium where we can FaceTime, or we can go live, or we can have a podcast, and you can see us. And when you're interacting on some of these different social media platforms, they can type in their questions. We see the avatar. You can bring them on as a guest. So you could actually connect, and visually too, along with this. So you're able to bring up subjects, talk about things that are important to you, and you find out, do our values align? Do we have things in common? Do we think the same things are funny? Do we like the same kinds of music? You can do all of that. And I believe that those are the things that as a core help us communicate and basically kind of make us find our people, is how I say it.
Totally agree.
So I believe, obviously, since my husband was an online meet and greet, I do believe, what are the things that are important to you in friendship?
And also, just as a sidebar, Jeff and I met on an online dating as well.
Yeah.
We met on Match. We were local to each other within like 30 miles, but we met online as well. So we had a little bit of chatting, not very much. Like we very quickly went to we should meet for dinner. Yeah. So, you don't want to waste time. If you've been doing it for a minute, you don't want to build this relationship and then you meet and there's no chemistry or there's no attraction or whatnot. So we met pretty quickly and just signed, sealed, delivered.
Now, and talking about that, something I would say is when you know a human in real life, you've met them in real life and you now see each other in real life. It is a little bit different when you have a completely online friendship with someone and let's say one day they ghost you. And you might not know their real name. Literally, you might know them as Cartoon Man or, and that's what you call him. I don't think
we know Cartoon Man's actual name.
We don't. We call him Cartoon Man. So you might know this person.
And it's with a K if you want to go find him on TikTok.
Yeah, you might know this person in that sense that you might talk to them every day. You might know a lot of stuff about them, but you may not have their real name. You may not know what they look like.
Or know
you
where
don't know
live,
or know where they live or anything like that. And they can just disappear. There is a different kind of accountability in this kind of relationship than there is. I'd say that's one of the biggest things is it's easy to catfish people. It's easy to, if you're a person who wants to be a catfish, if you want to not tell people, some people make up fake lives and put them out there and act as if they're real, and they're not being authentic, they're not being real. And that is kind of the downside or the risk of maybe liking someone or becoming friends with someone and maybe they're not real. And you don't really have what you have to kind of throw the trust out in the universe that this person is being honest.
Right. And then we talked about this on the last episode, because you're not meeting in real life, there are these keyboard warriors that come out and they troll you and they say awful things. And we kind of lean into it spend your time here so that you're not,
really hurting someone who might get hurt
and whatever. So if that's how you choose to spend your day, like maybe ask yourself why. And I would bet that nobody that's watching or listening to our podcast
No,
is those people,
no,
but they're trying to fill some sort of need in their
yeah.
lives. So
Well, it's getting attention. It's like when a little kid throws rocks at something to get attention. Sometimes people don't know how to get attention in a positive way, and it's usually because they don't feel very valuable and they don't feel like they have anything to
Right.
offer. So they need the attention, so they do the bad thing to get it.
right, for sure.
So it's, so you're going to deal with things like that,
Right, but the benefits of the good relationships outweigh the snarkiness of people that will come and go. And that's why we have awesome moderators, because they just say, get out.
Yeah,
Go.
they can kind of edit through that. But the thing is you can meet real people and you can find people who have your interests. Like you can very much curate the content that it's called the for you page, the FYP. You can say, I want to see people who sing. I want to see people who are creative or like gaming or whatever your hobby is. And it will, the algorithm will figure out, here's the kind of people we think you should see. You can go in and meet them, watch their lives, watch their reels. And so you can really find people who are your groove, like who are your vibe.
For sure.
And that's what we're trying to do, like through our podcast and through our social medias. We have certain people we want to meet. We kind of hope our values align in the sense that you're an empathetic person, that you're inclusive, that you're funny, that you have a good sense of humor, that you care about other people, that you're maybe understanding of women or men who are at a time in their life when things are changing and they're going through stuff, and just learning to kind of be accepting of people.
Yeah.
So you're able to do that. And it's hard to do that in real life.
Right.
It's hard to, like, we could go out and we'd have to, shake hands with and meet in person hundreds of people to probably find 5 or 10 that were actually interested in this. So the value of the internet is we can find our people with a targeted search, and that's hard to do in real life.
Right. And like yesterday, we went to a baseball game for the Tacoma Rainiers, and there were some ladies who I have met through networking, and Shelly had never met them because she's not in the networking group. But we were able to hang out at this baseball game because Debbie, shout out to Debbie, also invited us and hosted, because I'm one of her vendors for her magazine, because I photograph her covers. But we created this connection, and they were like, oh my gosh, tell us about podcasts. And then like, can we come on? Absolutely. So we are trying to figure out logistically how to have guests on here. So we just have to figure out logistics, chat, on that.
Yeah, it's that the people, if they're not here in the studio with us, which we could totally do,
Sure.
If they have to be remote, they have to have some pieces of
right. There has to be a
software,
certain level of
recording
like
equipment,
internet quality, like make sure that they don't cut in and out. They have to have some way to have vocals properly.
So there's some
like
stuff, but we're going to figure it out.
We're figuring it out because we have some people we want for guests on the show.
And that's people in real life and people that we're meeting through social media.
For sure.
So hopefully we'll be able to do that. But, it's interesting, and we pose this to you. Have you ever made like an online friend? And what was your experience? And did the feelings that you have for in real life friend feel the same? Like, was it the same kind of, to me, it kind of is.
Sure.
I have a very good friend. His name's Anthony. He goes by What Up Yo. And I met him on another streaming platform many years ago. He was a creator or someone who went live. And he's a very funny guy, talented, does a lot of amazing stuff. And we became friends. Like, we became friends on that platform. And then now we talk in real life. Like, we call each other. We've never met. We may never meet. We might not. But I consider him a friend just because we ended up having real conversations and we have a lot of things in common. And he also knows a lot about all these platforms and has always given me like information and technical, savvy on how to do this different stuff. Why? Because I'm a grandma on the interwebs.
Right. We're just trying to figure it out.
So, but I feel like he's a real friend. We confide things to each other. We're friends. There's no other way to put it. This is a friend. I don't know if I'll ever meet him in real life. I don't know that I need to.
Right.
It's like I'm getting the same thing out of the friendship that you get in real life. We can't go sit and have coffee in the same room. That's the thing that's missing.
Well, you
And
could have coffee at the same time and do a
we
video
can.
call if you want.
Sure. And that's the thing is like, can you do things virtually? And do you get, I think a lot of younger people, it's just been a part of their life, their whole life.
They were raised in this,
and it doesn't seem weird to
this
them at all.
generation where they've just always been connected because the internet was around when they were born, and they don't, like, they've never had to do the pen pal thing or whatnot. And I do think there is a lot of value in having an online community, especially if you're like, if you don't have a lot of people close to you proximity wise, where you can just go hang out with them, or you are kind of stuck in your house a lot, you don't have a car, like maybe
you're a stay-at-home mom,
right?
Maybe
so
you
it's like
work from
having
home.
those social interactions and knowing that it's an actual human that you're talking to can be nice, because at least you feel like you're getting some form of conversation or interaction, and you're not stuck in your own mind. I know that when I travel, my husband works from home most days, and he has been like, where I've been gone for 9 days, and I come home and he hasn't left the house or spoken to anyone except the dogs. And I'm like, babe, are you all right? And he was like, yeah, I was kind of lonely. Like, he would take the dogs for a walk just to get fresh air, but it's like, he doesn't crave interaction the same way that I do. But once you start getting to like a week, he's like, I got to go somewhere. I got to see some humans.
Yeah. I don't think I could last that long.
Right.
Now, for me, I can literally go to a grocery store and get my fill of that. I don't
but
have
there
to.
are people that don't have the opportunity to be around other people or have,
you could live somewhere out in the country. You might not.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have a transportation issue. You could have a health issue that keeps you at home. So I think these are ways to find communities, to find friends,
connect to humanity,
and to connect to humanity and feel like you're a part of it. Like and I believe that's why in the online communities, like Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, when you go in and you find a streamer or someone who connects, all these people start showing up in the room who you automatically feel like we're a team.
Right.
We're together. We support these streamers. We believe in the things that they are telling us. Like we all have, it's like you start seeing that, oh, we line up.
Right.
We believe some of the same stuff.
Right.
And it's hard to find that. You don't just find that in real life. So I absolutely think there's value in finding these online friendships or relationships or whatever you want to call them. And we are definitely finding those people out in these different communities. And lately we've really been concentrating on TikTok just because it's such a big platform. There's so much out there.
And the ability to go live and have interactive conversations instead of like comments on a post. Yeah. I think is really cool.
To do it in real time.
Just kind of found that and unlocked it. It's like, this is really fun. I'm quite enjoying this.
Yeah.
And it's gamified to where there's like different things to tap and stuff. But it's really, we're just there for the social part of it. We're there for the social part of social media, which so many people forget that part.
Yeah.
So many people forget the social part. We love people. We love the relationships, interactions, and those kind of things. So it's fun to open up a whole new world to where it doesn't have to be somebody who is near Seattle. Like a lot of
they could be anywhere. We have people that are from the UK. We have people from all different parts of the world.
I know some of our listeners are in Australia, New Zealand, England. Like we're getting people that are listening regularly to the podcast, and we appreciate all of you.
Yes.
And it's really cool because we can see a map on our podcast software. We can see a map of where people are listening from. And it's like, look how many downloads we have in Australia. How cool is that? I do have Aussie friends through my photography community. And I got a few messages that we're showing up when people are opening YouTube, like on their television. I've had messages like, hey, YouTube just suggested you as a video to watch. And I'm over here on the other side of the planet, literally sitting in Australia, opens YouTube on the TV.
Oh my God, I feel so exotic.
Right?
We're on Australian TV.
YouTube. And it's like, you should watch Hot Flash Chronicles. And they're like, hey, you just showed up on my suggested YouTube
that's
videos.
so funny.
Isn't that cool?
It is cool.
It's neat how like life is a lot different than it was before we were so plugged in and had access to
and this was all because a couple months ago, Angie and I thought, wouldn't it be cool to connect with other people who are our age and are finding out, wow, maybe these are the best years of my life. Maybe I
Right.
want to share some of my wisdom about how I got here, how I got through different health things, how I got through raising kids, how I got through menopause. Maybe it's time to connect with those people because maybe we have something of value, and maybe more importantly, they have something of value for
Right.
us that we could
can learn
learn
from each other, so it's a win-win.
Yeah, and it's
Or
like
holding space for each other,
that's
celebrating with each other, the
yeah.
ups and the downs and the mids and all of the things. Like, it's nice to have people in different um, places in your life that you can reach out to, like, oh my gosh, this is so cool, help me celebrate, or I need somebody to hold space because I'm having a rough minute or whatever. It's nice to have different places where you can access people that can either celebrate or hold space with you.
And one thing that you see a lot, we've touched on this in some of our other pods, is there's people who curate their life. The life that you will see on Facebook or on Instagram is the highlight reels.
Yeah.
And one thing we're trying to do is we're trying to not just show the highlight reels.
Right.
We absolutely want to celebrate the highlights, but we also are very honest about times that have not been highlights.
Right.
Because people need to know when they're having a moment or when they're having a hard time or when something bad is happening. That tends to be when you feel alone, like, oh my gosh, nobody's ever felt as alone as I feel right now. Nobody's ever fucked up the way I've fucked this up. Nobody's ever done this bad thing. Nobody's ever lost their job. Nobody's ever had a fight with their kid. And yeah, they have. Yes, they have, and we're trying to show those are normal parts of life and that you're not alone when those things happen.
Do you know what's interesting is oh my God, I totally forgot my train.
Menopause brain is real.
Thing.
It's super real. It will come back.
Maybe.
But just, it's like finding people who let you be imperfect and
I know.
And to recognize that's okay.
So when we originally started this, we thought it would be kind of like comical, like tongue in cheek, like watch these menopausal ladies like
forget everything,
ashes and da da da. And we thought it would be more of like a satire comedy thing. And we did a couple of a little more serious topics, and those are the ones that have more downloads.
Yeah.
Those are the ones where we're getting more traction, that people are listening longer and engaging more. So we're like, maybe we need to kind of mix it up. And like some of them are fun and quirky and silly. And
that's us too.
Yeah, that's who we are in real life. But the ones that are talking about mental health or setting boundaries or
people pleasing,
things like that are the ones that have more downloads. So isn't that interesting? Because I think it kind of goes to what you were saying is like when you're in a rough spot and it looks like everybody else is having the time of their life and living their best life because you're not seeing all the bullshit, you can feel very isolated and alone in that space. But as soon as you have a little blip on your map that's like, oh, there's somebody else going through this, like, oh, thank God, like I can talk about this and not be ashamed and not be scared and work through it and see that like this is just sometimes part of life.
Yep. And that's it. We're wanting people to recognize that what real life is a series of ups, downs, valleys, peaks. It's all of it. And you don't really get to experience the real human experience unless you have every one of those things.
Yeah.
And we're all going to have loss. We're all going to have triumphs. We're all going to have the happiest day of our life. We're all going to have the saddest day of our life. And that is all real and valid.
Yeah.
We don't just get all the good stuff.
It's the mosaic of all of the pieces that turn into this beautiful piece of art. The mosaic of our life. Like every interaction, every conversation, everything that happens to us turns into a piece that each one individually can seem broken or doesn't make any sense. But when you put it all together, that's like the mosaic of your life.
And if you look at artwork, if you look at a piece of art and there's just lines, just a square box, just lines, that's not, you don't think, oh, that's visually beautiful. The things that are beautiful have shades. It has shading. It has
a beautiful thing to say.
It has bright spots and there's shadows that give it form and shape. And there's darkness a lot of times. There's contrast, like all the things that really make up a beautiful, like something that's visually stunning. It's not just flat. It's not just this line. It's all of those things. And that really is what makes a beautiful life. It's that you have to learn to exist in all of the things.
Yeah. There would be no light. Like you have to have light in the shadows.
Yeah.
You have to have the shadows.
If it was all just dark, it would be black and flat. If it's all just white and bright, it's also like it just doesn't register.
If I take a photo into Photoshop or Lightroom and I remove all of the contrast, it looks very flat and bland. There's no depth or
dimension
or anything. It just looks very like milquetoast. It's like bland. Yeah. But when you start adding in that contrast, like you add in the shadows, that's what starts to create visual interest. And you can bump the highlights and drop the shadows and vice versa. And it'll create a different emotion to the viewer depending on how you play with those shadows and highlights. So if we didn't have those, if it was all just, it would just be a gray piece of paper because it would all be perfectly balanced.
Man, we're using a lot of, I don't know what these are called.
Metaphors.
Yes, that's the one. She's right there.
We want to know, where have you found online communities? What has the value been to you when you create an online friendship?
Have you used it for friendship? Have you used it for education? Have you used it for your business, for sales?
Yes, all of those for me.
How have you utilized it?
Yeah.
We're curious.
We would love to know. You can send us a message. We have a link tree. Yeah. You can find us. You'll know how to find us.
You'll know how to get a hold of us.
So, Shelley, we always wrap our episodes with a couple rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Oh, she's stressed about it today. Should I lead or do you want to lead?
You lead.
Me lead. Okay. Let's do a food one.
We always do. Got to have one of those.
Why wouldn't you? What is your favorite kind of cake?
Ooh, that's mean. There's so many that I like. But like, I'm going to say the one that really first popped right up into my brain was like a lemon chiffon, like a very delicate buttercream, like a lemon.
Just like you're very delicate.
Or like I've also found I like olive oil cake.
I don't know that I've had that.
I like the ones that are moisty. That's the only time I'm going to use the M word, but is when it's related to cake, and not super, super sweet. So yeah. Okay.
Your turn.
Oh my gosh. I have to go back. Okay. If you, we're going to stick with the food on this one.
We always have one food and one not, because why wouldn't we?
If you were going to go out to your garden tonight and harvest something and make a dish out of it, what would it be?
I would does it have to be harvestable right now, or are we assuming that it's
we're assuming it's ready.
I would love to pick some tomatoes and make some bruschetta. Bruschetta is my jam. I would put it on my homemade sourdough. I have basil in the garden as well. We could make some bruschetta, rub some garlic on it. I'm also growing garlic.
Can we do that? I want to do it right now. Can we do it soon?
There are no actual tomatoes to harvest. As soon as there are tomatoes to harvest.
Okay, we'll get to that. Okay.
Question for Shelley. What between the ages of 15 and 25, what was your favorite video game? She's very stressed out by my questions. If you're watching the video, she's glitching.
Video games. I don't know that I did a lot of video games during that time because, first of all, I would have to say, oh my gosh, like Atari games, because when I was a teenager, when I was like 12, 13, that's probably what that was. And I liked all of them. And I think they had the original Donkey Kong. And when that came out, I liked that. I liked Donkey Kong.
We'll go with Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong.
Why not?
That's good. Okay. So I got to come back with some kind of a technology.
Now it's your turn.
Now I get to do a technology question for you.
Ding,
Would you rather do a game, like an online game on a computer?
Yes. Sorry, or what?
Or I was going to say, or like a handheld, like they have the little handhelds.
I have a Switch. We have different gaming systems. I prefer PC gaming or Mac for me, but I prefer computer games because my fingers know where to go.
Yeah, that's my son too. He would do that every time.
We would be remiss if there was an episode, it wouldn't be complete if I didn't at least once say Jason Momoa.
We have a person in our TikTok who uses the Jason Momoa face, the
That's the
profile.
only reason we haven't blocked him.
He's
No,
turned around.
just kidding. We
His name is
appreciate you
Huck,
now, Hawk. But
Huck
it's
Morningstar, which
taken
sounds
a
like a
minute.
movie star.
It's taken a minute.
So you guys, thank you so much for joining us again for another episode. Follow us on some of these social medias. If you want to see us go off the rails and not, if you think this is slightly unfocused, go watch us on TikTok. It's kind of, it's a moment. It's a moment of its own. So
we actually have a listener that has listened to every episode that signed up for TikTok just so she could follow us.
Oh, that's
how cool is that? Yeah.
And
shout out to Liz. No,
Liz. That's
Liz.
right. Liz.
Yeah,
Liz.
yeah.
Liz. Hello, Liz. Thank you, Liz.
Okay. So with that, this is a wrap on another Hot Flash Chronicles episode. Catch us every Monday and Friday, wherever you listen to podcasts. Give us a follow, a subscribe, 5-star review if you feel that in your little pretty heart.
Love it.
And until next time, we bid you adieu, arrivederci, au revoir,
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye. That's a wrap on this episode. If you laughed, related, or just need more, hit subscribe.
Check out the show notes to find us on socials and YouTube, and join our Patreon for exclusive extras.
And remember,
we're still hot, just in flashes.